Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Draymond Green says he was embarrassed before Game 7 win. The Warriors didn't just win Game 7. They reclaimed control of their identity, and Draymond Green was the spark. After two rocky performances in Games 5 and 6 that nearly derailed Golden State's season, Green bounced back with a poised vintage effort in Houston. He tallied 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks in the Warriors' 103-89 win over the Rockets, punching their ticket to a second-round showdown with the Timberwolves. But what stood out even more than the box score was what happened before tip-off. In a candid post-game press conference, Green didn't shy away from the personal toll the series had taken on him. His words were raw, reflective, and real. "I pouted way too much last game. So I spent the last 2 days embarrassed just at what I gave to the game, what I gave to the world. I've been dying since the last game ended to get out on the floor and prove who I am." This wasn't just a response to criticism. It was accountability in its purest form. Green added, "One thing about this league is you're never done proving who you are until you're done. Completely finished." Green proved it with poise and fire. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr gave insight into the team meeting that shifted the mood heading into Game 7, crediting Green for leading it. "Draymond set the tone last night in the team meeting. He basically owned up to losing his poise in Game 6. Just his emotional stability and voice tonight from the start set the tone via Anthony Slater. It wasn't just talk, it translated to the floor." Green didn't just address his teammates behind closed doors. He backed it up on the court. The veteran forward put up 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal, helping anchor Golden State's defense while playing with measured intensity. He avoided any major flare-ups or technicals. And more importantly, he kept the Warriors emotionally steady in a high-pressure environment. Whether it was contesting shots in the paint or keeping his teammates locked in during timeouts, Green was everywhere. It was the kind of performance that reminded everyone why he's still the emotional compass of the team, and why when he's dialed in, the Warriors look like a different group. While Green's numbers stood out, the performance was part of a broader team effort. Stephen Curry delivered 22 points, 10 boards, and 7 assists. Despite playing banged up, Jimmy Butler added 28-7 in his first postseason run with the Dubs. And Buddy Hield was electric, leading the way with 33 points and 9 threes, the most in a Game 7 in NBA history. All of it flowed from one thing: focus. And for Draymond, that focus was forged in reflection. Stephen Curry gives 3-word answer to eliminating the Rockets 5 times in the playoffs. The Golden State Warriors have once again eliminated the Houston Rockets from the playoffs in the Stephen Curry era, with a 103-89 win in Game 7 at the Toyota Center on Sunday. This was the 5th time that Curry had knocked out the Rockets. And post-game, the Warrior star was asked what he thought his reputation in Houston was. Now Curry said, "Well, you can't argue against that." Curry has tormented the Rockets in a way that few other players have tormented a franchise in NBA history. They have now lost to him and the Warriors in the playoffs in 2015, 2016, 2018, 2019, and 2025. The first 2 meetings weren't all too competitive, with the Warriors winning in 5 games on both occasions. In 2018, however, the Rockets came extremely close to getting one over them as they led 3-2 in the Western Conference Finals. Unfortunately for them, the injury bug struck. Chris Paul injured his hamstring in their Game 5 win, and would miss the rest of the series. Without Paul, the Rockets were no match for the Warriors and lost in 7 games. The rematch the following year would see the injury bug hit the Warriors. Kevin Durant went down with a calf strain in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals, but the Rockets still ended up losing in 6 games. It had seemed like the Rockets would never get a shot at revenge against Curry, as they struggled post-2020. Head coach Udoka managed to spearhead quite a revival in the last 2 years, however, and led the team to 52 wins and the second seed in 2024-2. The Warriors meanwhile won 48 games and managed to finish as the 7th seed after navigating through the play-in tournament. Despite the Rockets being the higher seed, many still viewed the Warriors as the favorites, and they justified that tag by going up 3-1. A relatively comfortable series when appeared to be on the cards, but the Rockets stunned the basketball world by winning the next 2 games to tie things up at 3-3. They had all the momentum heading into the do-or-die Game 7 at home, but ended up losing to get knocked out by the Warriors again. Curry finished with 22 points, 8-16 FG, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in Game 7. The 37-year-old had just 3 points at halftime, but then came alive in the fourth quarter, scoring 14 points in the period. While Curry had a couple of magical performances in this series, he wasn't always at his best. That was down to the Rockets playing extremely physical defense, and he admitted post-game that it was challenging going up against them. "That was one of the toughest defenses I think I've ever faced," Curry said. In the sense of the physicality that was allowed earlier in the series, and then their commitment to just trying to take away all the patterns that we usually thrive off of and guard me at half court at times, it was wild. Curry also praised Rockets' Ian Thompson, who made life difficult for him in this series. Thompson defended the 2-time MVP as well as anyone has, but still ended up on the losing side. Curry has now averaged 24.9 points, 5.4 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 1.5 steals, and 0.5 blocks per game against the Rockets in the postseason. As tempting as it would be to get another shot at revenge, they probably should be hoping they never face him again in the playoffs. Charles Barkley hits Warriors with harsh Anthony Edwards reality. It was mission accomplished for the Golden State Warriors on Sunday night, as they came and conquered the Houston Rockets at Toyota Center in Game 7 of their opening round NBA playoff series. The Rockets put up a formidable fight on Sunday, but they just didn't have enough to take down a highly experienced Warriors side. In the end, it was Steph Curry and company who secured a 103-89 victory to book their spot in the second round. Golden State will now face the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference semifinals. The Warriors barely have any time to rest with Game 1 of that series scheduled for Tuesday in Minnesota. NBA on TNT analyst Charles Barkley has already shared his thoughts on that upcoming series. Barkley is confident that it's the Wolves who are going to emerge victorious, mainly because of one player, Anthony Edwards. "I'm going to take Minnesota," Barkley declared. "I think Minnesota's playing really, really well right now. Edwards is a hell of a player. His confidence is sky high." Edwards is beaming with confidence right now after leading the Warriors to a 4-1 series win against LeBron James, and the Los Angeles Lakers in that series. In 5 games played, the 23-year-old guard put up averages of 26.8 points, 8.4 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and 1.2 steals, while also knocking down 3.2 triples per contest. Barkley is adamant that the Warriors will have trouble holding down Edwards, and that the 3-time All-Star will prove to be the factor that determines this series. Barkley, though, isn't counting out the Warriors entirely. The former NBA MVP pointed out that Rudy Gobert could prove to be an issue for Minnesota, especially if Golden State is able to exploit any potential mismatches involving the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think the interesting matchup is how often they're going to play small. Barkley continued, because if they put Rudy Gobert out there, the Warriors are going to attack him in the pick and roll, and that's just going to open up spots everywhere. If he's going to try to stay in front of Curry, which he can't, he would have to double. Minnesota is going to have to go small a lot if they're going to beat the Warriors. It is worth noting that Barclay's Inside the NBA co-host Shaquille O'Neal picked Golden State over Minnesota. This series already has the makings of another epic clash on the court, which could potentially be even more fun once Barkley and O'Neal go at it from behind their desk. And you fan, what do you think about Charles Barkley's situation? Write to us in the comments.